Clarity often comes after calm. Clarity often comes after calm. Be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. God help me to calm down before trying to figure everything out. Help me to calm down before trying to figure everything out. The truth is, a panicked mind struggles to think clearly. Many people try to face clarity while emotionally overwhelmed, but wisdom often returns after the nervous system settles down. It's so funny. I was at the airport today and I was trying to get a wheelchair for my dad and his wife, and so and we went into, I guess, the wrong door. Yes, they're flying Alaskan Airlines because they're going to Alaska, and Alaska, I guess, is now on the 5th floor and not on the 6th floor, and so we went in there as Frontier folk. And I was asking a young lady, like, where is Alaska and how do I get to it? And they're like, well, we only do Frontier. I'm like, what do you, I'm just asking a question, like, where's an elevator? I need to get wheelchairs for these two individuals that are, 90 years old or 87 at this point. And she was like, I told you, you just got to figure it out. And I'm like, whoa, what is wrong with you? You are not a very nice lady. You are mean. I'm just trying to get some information because I'm trying to help some folks out. And she's like, and then she went and sat down. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? What I realized is if we go back to what we've been talking about lately, that hurting people hurt people. And I started getting emotional. I started because I got my car out in the drop-off spot. I'm inside. I'm trying to figure out where the elevator is. I'm trying to do all these things, and trying to make sure I get out to the car because the doors and everything are open, and how folks at the airport act. And what I realized is that I started getting that overwhelmed. I started getting that emotionally charged. I don't know. It wasn't overwhelmed. Then my stepmom says, well, she was very rude, and I'm just, after another lady helped me, I said, thank you very much. I took them to the elevator. I got them set to go downstairs. They can get the wheelchair when they get down there, which is exactly what they needed. And so we're all good there. But when I was driving home, I thought about it. How about if I would have reacted a little bit differently? How about if I would have said, oh, I'm so sorry that you're hurting. I know that must be the reason you're lashing out, because who else would lash out when we're just trying to help two 87-year-olds? Is there something that I can pray with you about, or something that I could pray for you about? Of course, that didn't cross my mind because I was emotionally charged until now, that I'll think next time I get in that situation, right? Because the person receives stressful news or immediately starts making rushed decisions, assuming the worst, emotionally reacting. Hours later after calming down, and for me it was just minutes later, like I got in the car and go, oh man, I missed an opportunity. God help me to remember next time that I'm here that I can take this opportunity to do this a little bit different. I didn't yell at her. I just told her that she wasn't a very nice lady. I didn't say something like, we might pass, you should have never been born, something like that. But no, I was calm in that respect. But I wish I would have just acknowledged that she was hurting. They realized that they were not thinking clearly in the height of their emotional reaction. I remember moments where I desperately wanted to answer immediately. My mind would race to solve every problem quickly because uncertainty felt uncomfortable. But I noticed something important over time. My worst thinking usually happened when my emotions were most elevated. It is so crazy how fast, when emotions start taking over, that your intelligence drops. When I was anxious, everything felt urgent. When I was afraid, every decision felt alternate. God began teaching me that clarity often follows calmness. I did not need to force answers in that moment today. I wasn't panicking, but sometimes the wisest thing I could do was breathe, pray, sleep on it, and allow my nervous system to settle before trying to make decisions. Once peace returns, perspective usually returns with it. And so when you can feel that emotion, maybe there's a trigger in your mind that you can say, well, stop, let me pause, let me think of how I might be able to handle this a little bit better. As I think through today and think through my previous life, I'm just getting better. And today, I'm thankful for the ability to raise my standards. I'm thankful that I have the ability to think through it, even if it was afterwards. High emotion stress reduces what's happening in our mind is high emotion stress reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for reasoning, perspective, planning, and impulse control. So what's happening is the emotional stress just lets this like goes from that to the amygdala, right? And so it leaves here, goes to the amygdala, and then we just kind of lose our mind, right? There's other words for what people would say that they lose, but that is what we're losing. So perceptive planning and impulse control, meanwhile, heighten the activation of the amygdala, increases emotional urgency and threat sensitivity. Was I threatened today? No. It just wasn't like in the way that she was addressing me. This imbalance reduces cognitive flexibility, making it harder to evaluate situations calmly. Emotional regulation restores clearer access and thoughtful reasoning. So the heart condition today, and when we want to come from our heart instead of our mind, the calm mind sees what panic often misses. Have you been trying to force clarity while emotionally overwhelmed? Practice. Before making one important decision today, pause long enough to calm your breathing and emotions first. Calm the emotions first. So the prayer today would be, Father, teach me to stop forcing answers in the moment of panic, help, or the moment of emotion. It doesn't necessarily have to be panic, but in the moment of emotion. Help me trust that wisdom does not always arrive through urgency. Calm my emotion, steady my thinking, and guide me with clarity and peace. Okay, the blessing here is may calmness restore wisdom, clarity, and emotional steadiness. Right? Do emotions affect decision making? That's our question. We know the first one is always absolutely yes. And so the second question, what helps you calm down before reacting? What helps you calm down before reacting? Maybe thinking of the other person. Why do you think wisdom often requires emotional steadiness? Why does wisdom require emotional steadiness? I'm going to put this in the comments today. What a great lesson for me. At 6:30 in the morning, I've already had a lesson for today that will change how I'm going to react to everyone for the rest of the day. Oh man, good stuff, good stuff. So